Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Donnie, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can link an Excel data into another worksheet in Excel. So you may wonder why I would do that. Like, why would I link an Excel file to another Excel file? Can I just use this data source as my file or my processing data and just do it right there? That's exactly the reason. If you do not want to do some changes in your original data source, you want to keep it intact, you want to keep it as it is, but you want to do some transformations, you want to process that data without touching anything in the original data source, you can just go to another Excel file, an Excel sheet, and link that data from the original data source. So that's what exactly we're going to do. We're going to send this data linked, okay, into this blank worksheet over here. Now, in order for that to happen, we need to use Excel's Power Query. Power Query is a tool within Excel that allows you to get data from another data source, either locally or over the web, and do some transformations in the data. Now, in order for you to access Power Query, there's really no button that directly says Power Query. So you just have to go to data, and on the left side, you should see there the get and transform data. Originally, this tab group was named New Query. But I guess when I saw it myself back years ago, I was actually not really interested and I was actually a little bit scared with the word New Query. So maybe that's the reason why they decided to rename it as Get and Transform Data. I don't really know. It's more of like my thing. But in this tab group over here, you can see several options to get the data. So you can get the data from a text file, or CSV file, a web, okay, like Google Sheets or OneDrive or SharePoint, or from another table, or even from a local picture. You can use these buttons over here to get data. Or you can even get data using this button, and there are even more options available here, like get data from PDF. Imagine that PDF, but you get data from it and use Excel to process the table in the PDF. Sounds great, right? You have from databases like servers, SAP, Sybase, IBM, Oracle, and so on. You can even get data from Azure, of course, from Dataverse, from other online services like Dynamics, SharePoint, Salesforce, or other data sources like ODBC, from a picture, from Hadoop, and so on. But for this video, we're going to show you how to get data from another. So we're going to go from File and go from Excel Work. Take note that there's no direct option for that over here. You just have to access it from here, from File, and click from Excel Workbook. And now you're going to navigate your computer in order to um, access the file. So I'm going to go to my desktop because that's where I saved the file that I showed you a while ago. So now that I have this, I can now click Import and let Excel do its magic. So what you're now seeing is a preview of the file that we have, and we have to click here in order to see the file. Take note that you may have other sheets listed here. The thing is that the file that we're loading doesn't have any other sheets, but in case there are other sheets, they will be listed here. And now you have the option to either load this directly into Excel or transform. By loading, what will happen is that you will get the data as you see here in the preview into the Excel together with all those headers, the nulls, and so on. Now, before we go to the transform tool, let me just tell you that this navigator over here is already part of Power Query. So this is the start, the gate of Power Query. It's asking you, do you even need to do some transformations or just load the file directly to Excel? In our case, we have to do some transformations because for some reason, the header, the title of the report, just to show you, the sales report here, became the table header of my report. So I cannot, because I want this, the sale date, the branch, the item, the sales to become the header of my report. And I also need to remove this column 5 over here, the one that says null. I don't want that in my output. So because of that, I now need to click the transform data tool. Now let Power Query load in your screen. So we're getting that process window, and now we have the Power Query loading. For the first timers, welcome to Power Query. So what you see here is another tool, another program application within Excel. Think of it like a sub-program. It's not a program on its own. It has to be hosted by another program. Take note that you can also access this from Power BI, not just Excel. It has its own tabs, it has its own minimize, maximize, and so on. But what we want to do here is to remove this part over here because we don't really need it. Okay. We don't need these nulls over here. So for this one, we're going to go to home. And then under home, we're going to remove rows in our data. So we're going to remove rows and remove the top row. And then once we have that, he will now identify how many rows you're going to remove. In this case, we're going to remove one row and then click OK. Now, the headers over here, the sale date, the branch, the item, and the sales need to be the first part of my table. They need to be the header. Unfortunately, what Excel did here is it promoted the first row, the title, into the headers, leaving the first column with the header name and just blank column names for the others. We need to stop this from happening. And the thing is that this is a natural behavior of Power Query. It promotes the first row as headers. And as you can see here in the applied steps on the right side, you should see the step here promoted header. So just to give you an idea, the applied steps are all the steps that Power Query did in order to transform your data to how is it now, to how it is now. So the step here that says promoted headers is something that should not have happened. So in this case, I will exit out. So I'm going to get a confirmation to delete the step, and of course I have to click. Now I'm getting a problem over here because right now the change type is making a mistake because that first step, step 3 if you remember, is a crucial step for the next steps. If this happens to you, well, don't panic. In this case, since we don't have a lot of steps anyway, I'm just going to remove this step over here. I don't need to change type. And as you can see, it went back here, okay, to the remove top rows, okay, step. And with this, I can also remove this row over here. So remove rows, again, remove top rows, specifically just one row. Click OK. Note that I now have two steps here, remove top rows and another remove top rows, okay? Because if you remember, I already did once a while ago and another one here. Take note that in your file, you may not need to do this, okay? I'm just giving you possibilities here because your file may not have the headers that you need to remove. If you don't have any headers that you need to remove, then this is what your Power Query may load directly or may load into your Power Query tool. And in this case, the first row is technically supposedly the headers. This here should be the ones here in the column numbers, not this random names, column 1, column 2, column 3. So for that to happen, and if this is how your data looks like at the moment without those extra headers on top, then you can just click the Home tab and then under Home tab, promote the first line as header rows using this button. Use first row as headers. So just click that and you will see that you now have the uh, headers being promoted as the table header names. I don't have those random column 1, column 2, and so on. Again, take note that the steps that we did here is because we had that extra 2 rows on top. If you don't have those rows, then all you need to do is check whether the first row is being promoted as the headers or not. And as you can see, those are the steps that you have to. And once you have that, you can now click home and close and load. This will send the data in your version or in your current file. And as you can see here, you now have your sale date, your branch, your item, and sales, and that extra column that is also being loaded into the data. Let's say that you don't really need this new column or this blank column over here. You need to delete it. And let's say that you forgot to delete or do some changes in Power Query. So how do you go back to Power Query when you already loaded the data? So for that, just click on the table. And then on the table, you should see on the right side, you have queries and connections. Here, you will see a list of all queries that you did. And what you need to do is right click on which query you want to modify. And then right click and click edit. This will send you back to Power Query. So if you click close and load, it doesn't mean that you won't see Power Query anymore. You can simply right click on the queries and connections, and right click on any query actually and click edit. I say any query because if you have other queries, you can simply see them here on the left side of Power Query, and you can just navigate your Power Query to go to another query. No problem. So in this case, we need to remove this column over here because it's just null. As you can see, the line that I have here is just gray line, meaning everything in this column is just emptiness. So to do that, I'm going to click the column that I want to remove, go to home, and then click the remove columns button. So I'm just going to directly click the remove columns button over here. If you decide to click the drop down, you can choose from other columns. And what will happen here is that only the highlighted column will be saved. But what you want is to remove this current column selected. So I click remove column here or just directly this button. And now that fifth column is gone. I will now go back to the Excel file and click home and close and load. And let Excel refresh. And now you can see that I don't have any more extra column that I have. And with this, I now sort of like linked this file over here. I now have the capability to do some changes, create pivot over here, without harming the original data source, which is technically the reason why you would do this. Take note that if there are any changes that you did here in the original file, can reflect in the new file that you have here only if you do a refresh. So right click and click refresh. But before I do that, take note of how I did here. I changed one of the data, and take note that it did not do any changes in the original data source. This is exactly why we want to do this in Excel. So right click refresh and let it reload. And any changes that you did in the cells will be brought back, because this is more of like a one-way sync. I cannot call it sync, a one-way direction of querying. That's why it's called query in the first place. When you query things, it means you have this original data source and you're querying in order to get data from that data source. Syncing is when you have two data sources and you're sort of like syncing the two files. Any changes in the other file will reflect in the other file. That's called syncing or collaboration. This one is more of querying and it's not two-way. And with this, I just managed to show you how you can connect another Excel file to another Excel file. This can be useful if, let's say, this file is owned by somebody else. It's not really yours, but you want to do something on it. And any changes you want, you just refresh the linked file that you have over here. From here, you can do pivot tables, you can do formulas, and so on without harming the original data source. And with that, that ends our video. I hope you learned something. I hope this helped you in your search. If this really helped you, we appreciate a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us manage the algorithm and bring us up and give more videos to you. But for now, if you have any questions, feel free to use the comment section and I'll see you in the next video.